Joining us live now for more on this is Gordon Flake, CEO at the Perth USAsia Centre. Gordon Flake, thank you for your time. What do you make of the backlash in Asia?
Actually, I think it's very much overstated. Most of the countries in the region, their governors themselves welcome it. And I think the framing is a little bit wrong. It's not about pushing NATO into Asia. It's about Asian countries such as Japan and Korea and Australia realizing that they've got a lot at stake at what's happening in Ukraine and wanting to coordinate together with NATO. So the notion somehow that that's a European problem and it doesn't impact us has already been proven quite not to be the case. And obviously there's some real ramifications for our own security in this region, cross straits, et cetera. And so I think, you're seeing countries that were traditionally also quite skeptical about NATO, Sweden, Finland, et cetera, now formally join NATO. Part of that is because, we heard a short clip a second ago, the Chinese spokesperson, or the foreign minister rather, saying that this is Cold War think. We can no longer talk about post-Cold War Europe or post-war Europe. There is a war in the middle of Europe, and it is a consequential conflict that really has implications for all countries, and in particular for our region, the Indo-Pacific.
When do you expect Ukraine will be able to join NATO?
Well, look, there's obviously some real challenges of having it join in the middle of the conflict, because once NATO does join, once Ukraine does join NATO, they become a member and they become a beneficiary of that compact, those Article 5 compacts, which means NATO would itself be at war with Russia. And so I think Ukraine didn't get everything that it wanted. I don't know that it really expected to be in NATO now, but they certainly got a very strong voice of support from NATO members. They got a strong voice of support from our prime minister, who pledged more Bushmasters. And they got a timeline post-war that has been dramatically shortened from where we were before the war. So again, I don't know that anybody realistically expected that they were going to be in NATO by the weekend.